and welcome back to another episode of Bulk or Busted. I am joined by a good friend of mine, Magic's favorite monster, Sullivan. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing well, I think. I'm doing well. Yep. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to tell. You really have to think about it a little bit. Like, am I doing well?
Yeah.
But I'm going to say yes. I'm doing well. What about you? What about you?
I'm hanging in there. It's
All
been
right.
a
That's
it's
all we
been
can
a
do.
fun couple of weeks, you know, in the world we live
Sure,
in.
sure. Yep. So what are we doing here? What are we doing?
So I'm going to show you a series of 5 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I will ask you the question, do you think these are good or do you think they are bad? And you can ask me as many questions as you want to determine your answer. I've had people go into thesis like spiels about it, and I've had people go based off of vibes. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. To preface, I know almost nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh. There are cards. They have values on them. There are. I understand some of the mechanics a little tiny bit, but not much. So we'll see what happens here. I may have questions. I'm sure I'll have questions for sure.
And I expect this is Monster Reborn. It is a spell card, and what it does is you can target 3 monsters in your graveyard. Your opponent chooses one of them, and you special summon it. And if you do, you banish the rest, and you can only activate one of this card per turn.
Huh. Okay, so spell cards are they like sorceries or instants? You got to make it. You got to translate into Magic for me.
Okay, so this spell card would be the equivalent of a sorcery.
Okay, so this is in Magic language. This is sorcery. Choose 3 creatures in your graveyard. Your opponent chooses one. You put it into play, kind of immediately, right? Is that what
Yes.
special whatever it is means?
Yes.
Yes. How easy is it in Yu-Gi-Oh to put creatures specifically into your graveyard? Do they have like buried alive kind of things?
About as easy as it is in Magic, yes.
Okay, so you could like put 3 very good creatures into your graveyard, and your opponent's kind of like screwed one way or the other if they're all good, right? That you put a very good one in no matter what.
Yeah.
Feels like?
You can absolutely do that, yes.
Okay, and then you can only, this is a one-time thing.
Only once per turn.
Once per turn, but it's a... How would you do this more than once per turn if you had multiple copies of this card?
Yep. For Yu-Gi-Oh, the card limit you can have per deck is 3 instead of Magic.
Oh, 3. Okay, so if I had 2 of these in my hand, I could only cast one of them a turn.
Yes.
That's what that's saying. Okay. So if this is a Magic thing, this is basically, and in Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't really have like mana, right? You just can play cards.
Yep, you can just dump your whole hand if you're able to.
Right. So this is in Magic equivalent. This is a 0 mana sorcery that you choose 3 creatures in your graveyard. Your opponent picks one of them, and you put that one into play. That seems pretty powerful. I'm going to say this is a good card, assuming there's like good ways to put creatures into your deck. So I'm going to say good.
So unfortunately, we are starting off a 0 and 1. This is actually bad. The problem with
bad
this
card.
So the thing with this card is that it is effectively a worse version of a card called Monster Reborn. Hence the name Monster Reborn. And what that one is that it gives you the choice to pick any monster in either graveyard. At the time, I think it was banned. I think it might still be banned. I'm not certain on that one. I'll put a little flash up if it is or not. But Yu-Gi-Oh has a trend of making weaker versions of banned cards. And this is one of those examples. So
interesting. So in a vacuum, without the other one, would this be good?
If the other one didn't exist, I'd still say no. Because there are other cards that do very similar things to Monster Reborn, just slower. And that's honestly a lot better than giving your opponent a choice.
But is this kind of thing good in Yu-Gi-Oh, putting like a creature back into play?
It can be, but you'd rather have the choice of what you put back into play. Because a lot of combos are derived on that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alrighty.
Alright.
This is Dark Armed Dragon, a level 7 Dark Dragon effect monster. It cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from your hand by having exactly 3 dark monsters in your graveyard. And you can banish a dark monster from your graveyard to then target one card on the field and destroy it. It has 2,800 attack points and 1,000 defense points.
Huh. Okay. So how many like life points do you have in Yu-Gi-Oh? What does 2,800 mean?
So you start out a duel with 8,000.
8,000. Okay, and then so let's say if like you had equivalent of like 80 life, this would be a 28 power creature or something like that, right?
Yeah, pretty
Getting
much.
rid of some extra zeros there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the early days when they would do calculations before there was an official app for it, they would just remove the zeros because there is a less than 1% amount of cards that have any integer below the second numeral place.
Okay, so it's just inflation on cards, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay, so the whole special summon thing, that means you can't just put it into play like how you would cast a creature, right?
Yes.
That says you can't do that?
It has
you
to
have
be
to
a
do
specific
something.
condition, which is usually outlined on the card.
Okay, so it has a special summon. That's what that means, right?
Yep.
So if you have 3, what was it, shadow creatures in your graveyard?
3 dark monsters. So
Dark monsters.
Is the attribute of the card. The Yu-Gi-Oh cards have attributes to them, not in the same way as like typal creatures are. In a way, that would be more the dragon typing.
Sure.
There really isn't an
This would be like red or like electric type Pokemon kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of more like the mana, like more the color type of a card. If I had to make it equivalent to Magic.
So it's an attribute. Okay, so you've got 3 of these creatures in your graveyard. Then you can cast this thing. Is that right?
Yep.
All right, and then you can do that. And when it comes in, it destroys another creature.
You can choose to have it destroy another creature.
Okay, but you probably do if your opponent has one, right?
Yeah. And it's not just creature either. It is any card on the field.
Okay, so like if there's a trap card or one of those things, you can destroy anything.
Yep.
So in Magic, there are some creatures that come into play and just kill another creature. There's like, Ravenous Chupacabra is an easy one. That is just a black creature that just comes in and destroys a creature. And then there's all sorts of things that like, remove things from the board as just creatures that have like exile effects. This one has a condition on it you have to meet. Now, okay, here I guess maybe this is cheating. Are there creatures that you can play that would be of the same legality as this one that kind of do the same thing?
There really isn't. This was kind of a one-of-a-kind kind of thing that didn't really have much in the terms of copycats.
Okay. So not a lot of other creatures that destroy things when they come into play.
Yeah, not to the effectiveness that this one does, because you can do this multiple times in a turn.
You can do this multiple times in a turn if you have multiple of these cards?
If you have... so its effect is you can banish 1 dark monster from your graveyard, target a card on the field, destroy it. That does not say once per turn. So you
banish... Okay, so the cost of destroying something is removing cards from your graveyard. That's what banish is, like exiling in Magic?
Yes.
If we're translating? Okay. So I play this thing, and then I've got like 7 dark creatures in my graveyard. I can go boom, 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 remove 7 of your things.
Yep.
And then if you play something the next turn and it doesn't do something to remove this, I can just go boom, get rid of that too.
Yep.
That seems pretty powerful. I'm going to say good. I'm going to say this is a good card.
You are 1 for 1. This is a very powerful card. This was in one of the instrumental strategies in the earlier days of Yu-Gi-Oh! You'll hear the term Tier 0 thrown around a lot, especially even in Magic sometimes. This was one of Magic's first big money cards. This was...
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. It's been a long day.
Sure.
One of
but it's like
cards.
11 a.m. All right.
But yeah,
I get it.
But yeah, so this was integral in a very popular strategy. I believe it was Teledad is the name of the deck if you look it up, and nothing could really beat it. It took several bannings to even cripple the deck. This thing was clearing 150, I think, at one point in its life.
Wow.
But yeah, no, you are 1 for 1.
Is that right? Or is it all the older ones?
So the way Yu-Gi-Oh does its formatting is, for the most part, it follows whatever the most recent ban list was. That's how they kind of keep track of the formats. So this,
okay.
and then within those formats, there is like separated based on basically what the anime was at the time. So this would have been the GX era, and was playable in what they call Edison format. This is a very powerful Edison card.
No, all right. Okay, $150 you said.
Yes.
At the height. All right.
This is Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. It is a trap card. If there are 2 or more different monster types among level 10 or higher monsters on the field, shuffle all cards except this one from both players' hands, fields, and graveyards into the deck. Then each player draws 5 cards. Also, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Crystal Beast monster and 1 field spell from your deck to your hand. You can only apply each effect of Rainbow Bridge of Salvation once per duel.
Huh. Okay. That was a lot of words.
Where do you need me to break it down for you?
Well, I like that it said monsters a bunch. That makes me happy. Let's start with the first part again.
Okay.
Could you do just the first part again?
Yeah. So, if there are 2 or more different monster types among the level 10 or higher monsters on the field, shuffle
What does level 10 mean?
So, you know how on Dark Arm Dragon it had 7 stars on that type line?
Oh, yeah.
That is
the little like Pokemon.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are its levels. Levels are usually indicative of if a monster can be, how a monster can be normal summoned. So for Yu-Gi-Oh, if it is 4 stars or less, you can play it with no restrictions right into play once per turn. If it is 5 or 6, you will have to sacrifice one of your other monsters in play to summon it. And if it is 7 or higher, you need 2.
Huh. Okay, so to play this thing, you have to sacrifice 2 creatures. Is that what you're saying?
Not quite. So
when
it comes to other monsters, levels for the most part mean different things. So, and you can get out level 10 or higher monsters in other ways, not just sacrificing.
Okay. But so you have to have 2 level 10 monsters in play to do this thing, right?
Also, it doesn't have to be just you. It can count your...
Oh, it could be one of
your
theirs.
opponent's fields as well.
Okay. So there's 2 creatures out that 2 monsters out. 2 monsters. I like that better. 2 monsters out that qualify this thing. And then the effect is everybody shuffles everything up and then you both draw 5 cards basically.
Yep.
Except this stays out.
So this stays in your graveyard.
This stays in your graveyard. Everything else is so your graveyard gets shuffled in. Your banished cards get shuffled in.
No, those stay banished. The only things that shuffle is your hand, field, and graveyard.
Okay. So you play this. So let's say you're out of cards, and then you get to draw 5 cards, and your opponent draws 5 cards, but they may not be able to do anything because it's your turn, right? In Yu-Gi-Oh, there's not a lot of like things you can do on your opponent's turn.
There's a lot.
Is that right? Besides traps,
there's a lot you can do on your opponent's turns. Cards have what are called quick effects, which can be activated during either turn.
Okay. But generally, you getting 5 cards on your turn is a lot better than getting 5 cards on your opponent's turn, right? Which is true in most of these card games. Okay, so that happens, and it's kind of like, what's the card in Magic? Time Spiral, where you shuffle up and draw a bunch? Yeah, so it's kind of like Time Spiral with a condition set on it. And I imagine the effect is pretty good if you can meet the condition. I don't know exactly how hard it is to meet the condition. This is only the first part of the card, right? So what does it do if it's in your graveyard?
So if it is in your graveyard, you can banish it and add 1 Crystal Beast monster and 1 field spell. Crystal Beast monster is just a... I guess I'd attribute it to typal cards in Magic, where they belong to a specific group of cards.
Okay.
And they are named as such. And a field spell is, if I'd equate it to something in Magic, I'd equate it to a world enchantment.
Oh, okay. But you get 2 cards. You go into your deck and you get 2 cards.
Yes.
So take it out of your graveyard, banish it, you get 2 cards.
Yeah.
Huh. And let me ask you this, see if I can figure this out. Is the second effect better than the first effect? Because I feel like it might be.
I am not at liberty to say.
Oh, is that cheating? Is that cheating?
That's a little cheating.
All right, all right. So I feel like exploiting the second part where you just don't care about the first part and you just put this thing in your graveyard and then you're like, boom, 2 cards. Seems pretty good. And maybe the other part happens sometimes and you do the other part sometimes. But just like put this in your graveyard, go get 2 cards, and then other things happen. Seems pretty powerful. So given that and the fact that you're not talking, I'm gonna say this is a good card.
You got me. Yeah, no, this is a good card for exactly that reason. I was expecting you not to get it for that reason, because the first effect is really powerful, but the second effect is like, oh, you just get 2 cards. The first effect is like, oh, we're gonna restart the game.
Yeah.
So what's funny about the first effect as well is even funnier, because what you can do is you can sequence it in a way that your opponent draws nothing. They just you clear their board and they draw nothing.
How's that?
So, you know how I said there's quick effects and stuff like that?
Yes.
So what you can do is a mixture of 2 cards. One card that makes both you and your opponent draw a card during their turn. And a other card, I'll put it up on screen, is called Droll and Lockbird. It is a card known as a hand trap, which means you activate it from your hand. And it keeps players from drawing cards for the rest of the turn, effectively. It keeps them from adding cards from their deck to their hand, which includes drawing.
Okay.
So if you can sequence those 3 cards together, you reset your opponent's board, and they draw nothing. It's a lot harder to get off because you have to fill the first requirement, but it's really funny.
Okay, so this is like like a Leovold kind of thing where your opponent can't draw cards and then you draw cards.
Yeah, or a Narset.
In Magic terms, yes. Okay, I get it. So that's powerful.
But yeah, no, the second effect is the more important part of this card.
All right. I'm very happy that I figured that out. I feel like
I'm shocked, personally.
Big monster brain going here. I feel like I should be a game designer now. I should quit my job at the bar and start working on game design. I wonder if they're hiring for Yu-Gi-Oh! For monsters. Where are these cards designed? Are they designed in Japan or the United States?
Japan, and then they're localized.
Oh, that could be hard. All right, and maybe not.
Alrighty.
All right.
Here is card.
I'm 1 for 2. Wait, what am I? 2 for 3 or 1 for 2?
You are
2 for 3.
Yeah, you are currently. Yeah, you're 2 for 3. Here's number 4.
All right. Before we start, can I ask a question?
Yes.
All right, you had Kess on before, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what did he get?
I believe he was 3 for 3, because I think he asked for a bonus question, or I had another card laid up.
Okay, so if I get another one, you have 5 lined up, right?
I have 5 lined up, yes.
Okay, so if I get 3, I tie him, but if I get 4, I get bragging rights.
Yes,
I beat him. All right, great. I'm in.
If you beat Cass, I think you actually would have the most of the 4 people I've done this with so far.
Ooh, all right. I gotta focus.
Alrighty, so this is Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. This is a continuous trap card, which means once you activate it, it stays onto the field for as long as it is still up there. And all level 6 or higher special summoned monsters on the field cannot declare attacks or activate their effects.
Okay, so and you said that level 6 is the star ball things on the cards, right? So powerful creatures cannot attack and cannot use their abilities effectively.
Correct.
And this just stays in play forever.
Until someone destroys it, yes.
Right, okay. So it's like an enchantment that says big creatures cannot, well, not really big, but like certain kinds of creatures cannot attack or use their abilities.
Yes.
Huh. See, I don't know enough about like how often people actually win the game via attacking in Yu-Gi-Oh versus doing other dumb things, or if attacking kind of happens like irrelevantly, where it's like I'm gonna just knock all the cards out of your hand and then eventually I'll just attack and kill you, or
about 7 times out of 10 it's due to attacking.
Okay, so attacking is actually important. It's not just like comboing off
It really depends on the time period.
Okay, but and you got to remind me how Yu-Gi-Oh attacking and blocking works differently than Magic, right? Like you can attack creatures with creatures.
So with Yu-Gi-Oh, it is you attack the monsters before you attack the player, and defense points is effectively how you would block. Everything blocks, but if a monster is in defense, for the most part, you wouldn't take any battle damage if it were an attack. And then if it was an attack, it's just you do damage calculation that way.
Huh. I'm gonna say I don't. This card sounds like it could be good, but I don't think it is, because I think too many things probably get around what it's doing, and I don't know how much. Like, what happens if you play this and your opponent's deck just doesn't care about the big like six. What is it?
Level 6.
Level 6. Okay, so what if? How? Let me ask this: how often does a deck not have level 6 or above creatures in it? Like,
it's a lot more often than you think.
Okay, so in some games you could play this card and it would just do stone cold nothing because your opponent doesn't care about it.
That can happen, yes.
Okay, so like just as it is. See, the thing is, I don't know a bunch about like the meta of these worlds. Like, I can't tell you if there's a better version of this card that exists or a worse version of the card that exists. So rating it in a vacuum, I'm gonna say it's bad because it just doesn't do enough for a card. Like, it might do nothing, and I'm not really. There's maybe a combo with it or something that I don't know about. But just on its face, I'm gonna say bad because it's not. It's just not good enough.
Man, you are killing it. Yeah, no, you got it.
All right.
For pretty much the exact reason. So this is a card that comes up whenever like a level 6 or higher strategy comes up. People think like, oh, this is going to be the thing that beats the deck, and it never happens. Because another factor as well that I haven't been able to bring up is there is another type of monster that exists that don't use levels. So they are completely immune from this card.
Oh, they're levelless.
So yeah, they are called Xyz monsters. And what they do is, to summon them, you take 2 monsters of the same level, overlay them on top of each other, put the Xyz monster down, and it doesn't have levels, it has ranks.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So they're
ranks are better than levels?
For the most part, yes.
Okay. So it's like a meld kind of thing.
Kind of.
Does it get the powers of the 2 creatures it
No.
seized, or it just is?
No, it's just its own being.
Okay, so it's kind of like, do you remember Champion and Lorwyn?
Yeah.
You would champion a fairy or champion a goblin or whatever?
I'd say
kind of like that?
Yeah.
Like remove 2 and then put it into play or something?
Yeah. I'd say it's
okay.
that.
Okay.
But no, so right now you are 3 for 4.
Yes!
Alrighty.
Yes!
Here is the last card.
Oh, pressure. Oh, it's cute. It's cute.
So this is Naturia Bamboo Shoot. It is a Earth level 5 monster. It is a plant. If this card is tribute summoned by tributing a Naturia monster, while this card remains face up on the field, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards. It has 2,000 attack and 2,000 defense.
All right, you're gonna have to. That was a lot of words. I don't have any coffee here. You're gonna have to read it one more time, and we're gonna have to break it down. So read the first part for me.
All right. So, if this card is tribute summoned by tributing a Naturia monster, which is
what does that mean? What does tribute mean?
You know how I said so? Tributing is, I mentioned earlier, when it comes to the stars, it's sacrifice. Tribute is sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you sacrificed another creature or monster. Yep. I like that better. Monster to put this thing into play.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you did that. You got this thing into play. Okay. Continue.
And if you tribute another monster of the same typle, so that being Naturia's, you gain the effect of your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards. So your opponent,
so no traps can flip, right? Is that what, or play them from hand, right? Is that what that means?
So traps have to be set on the field in order to activate.
I thought you said you could play some traps from your hand, though.
Very small amount of them.
Okay. All right. So So traps in play don't do anything, and then your opponent cannot play spells.
So yeah, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards, but I believe
Okay.
you are able to respond to it. Basically, being like having a response for like. It's very hard to make a Magic equivalent because they basically use the same terminology when it comes to that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you do the things to get this in play in the right way, your opponent can no longer play spells or do trap cards.
Yes.
All right, so there's a good amount of setup cost here, right? Because you had to have had a monster, and then you effectively sacrifice this monster to put this thing into play, right?
Yep.
And then this thing has to stick around, and it means your opponent can't play traps or spells. And how would you get rid of this monster? Would you use spells or other monsters to get rid of this monster if you wanted to get it off the
You can attack over
whatever
this
the
thing.
battlefield equivalent is?
You can attack over this thing.
You can attack over it, so you just ignore it.
So, okay, I gotta explain terminology. Attack over it is meaning just playing a monster with higher attack points.
Okay, and so that what would that mean though? Like you play.
So, like, if you play a monster with say 2100 attack or higher, you could just destroy this thing outright with a monster, like through combat.
Oh, okay. So I would play this thing, and then you would play a monster with 2100 attack, and then you would attack this monster and destroy it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So, and then that's how you can pick off your opponent's monsters by. That's just how Yu-Gi-Oh works, right? You just attack your opponent's things that you want to pick off the what do they call battlefield? In play or something?
I mean,
Like it's on the table. Do they have a term for that?
In play, I think would probably be the closest term.
Okay. So this thing, it comes down. It might stop your opponent from doing some things, but it's not terribly. I'm going to say it's not terribly hard to get rid of. Is that true?
I mean, yeah. It's just kind of how it is for most monsters. They're pretty easy to get rid of if they don't have inherent protections on them.
Okay. This could be tricky. I'm going to say I'm going to say a lot of people think it's good because it seems like it's got a good ability, but I'm going to say it's really bad because of the setup cost plus the fact that it doesn't stop everything your opponent's doing, plus the fact that, like you said, you can just get rid of it by just getting rid of it. So I'm going to say ultimately bad, but some people think it's good. Final answer.
You sure you're not a Yu-Gi-Oh creator? Because you nailed it on the goddamn head.
I did?
Yeah, no, you got it. You're 4 for 5.
Yeah, I got it right.
For the exact reason.
Yes.
This card is one of those cards everyone tried to make good. Whenever a new Naturia card would come out, they'd be like, "Oh, we can finally make Bamboo Shoot work," and it never came up.
Never does. Okay, this is like living the dream, right? This always comes back. People pull it out of their binder. They're like, "We're gonna do it this time," and it's like, nope, guess not.
This and the last card are pretty much both that, but like, they both have very specific. The term for in Yu-Gi-Oh when you stop an opponent from doing something is called a floodgate. You stop them. You stop them from doing a certain type of action. Whereas this one, it's you turn off 2/3 of the game for them effectively, and the other one is just very big monsters can't do anything. But yeah, no, Bamboo Shoot was one of those if only cards where like if only it was better, if only we had support cards, if only it had damage protection.
It just needed a little more to get there, and it just never gets it, or never had it, or can't get enough.
Honestly, if it had like 3,000 defense points, it'd be so much better.
Okay, because then things couldn't just pick it off as easily.
It'd be very hard to have a monster to beat over it.
Okay, so then it would stick around. It have a little more survivability. In Yu-Gi-Oh, when you attack, can you have two creatures deal damage or two monsters deal damage to a monster, or is it just 1-to-1?
1-to-1.
Okay, so if I have two monsters that total 3,000 attack, I couldn't pick off a 3,000 defense creature combining them in any way.
No, damage does not stick on it. It's calculated, and then it's like it didn't happen. Unlike Magic, where damage sticks to creatures.
Right. Okay. So I couldn't. Yeah. So having a bunch of little creatures doesn't help. Like you can't dogpile or anything.
Yeah.
On a creature to take it out. Okay. All right. I get it. Well,
But yeah, no.
I'm proud of how I did here.
Yeah, no, I think you have done the best so far.
Nice. Now I'm gonna okay. So who else have you had on to do
So
this? I know Kaz.
So Kess has been on. The next episode that's coming up is with Mook Dubs.
Oh, Mook.
I believe he also went. I think he also wanted a bonus question, and he also went 3 for 3 or 3 for
Nice.
3 for 3.
Nice.
I had Yoggoth on, and I've had Tap and Sack on.
Okay. And I'm just absolutely crushing all of them, is what you're saying.
I believe you have scored the highest.
Nice. Can I get let's see. Can I get a title or something? Like, what would you? I need some bragging rights here. I feel like I've deserved them after answering these cards correct. Now I do wonder about the people who only got 3 cards, if they get a chance to, like, you know, in some way come back and reevaluate, maybe challenge me again. Maybe you gotta have them on again to.
I mean, if
defend.
you ever want to come back and do it, I mean, the door's always open. I know Tap and Sack.
No, I've got the crown right now. They need to come back and do it. I'm sitting here with the championship belt, right? And they gotta fight me for the belt, so they gotta beat 4 out of 5.
I think for you, I'd give you the title of the Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
Oh, I like that. Okay, the Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
But yeah,
all right, I'm gonna hold on to that.
I think Tap and Sack said he'd be down to do it again.
Okay, good. Well, just let them know that they got their hinders kicked by a monster in the Yu-Gi-Oh challenge here, and I'm gonna gloat a little bit on social media. I think
you gotta do a post about it. You gotta be like,
all right,
I've now branched into the Yu-Gi-Oh sphere, and let me tell you, this was easy. Something like that.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Rile people up.
Piece of cake, easy peasy. How could you get this wrong? You must all be idiots. I figured it out almost instantly with very little help from you. I could just look at the cards.
You people say that this is a hard game. I figured it out easily.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been playing Magic for maybe longer than you've been alive. I don't want to answer that question, but long time. So I feel like I've got some game knowledge in here, and I'm happy I performed to my ability, and I'm proud of how I did, and this was fun. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you. Join us next time for the next episode of Bulk or Busted. Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.